Welcome to episode 79 of the Wilderness Podcast, your weekly old school RuneScape podcast. I'm your host, Dilz, and with me, as always, is Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
The going's pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad. What did I do this week? Good question. I didn't really play many games outside of RS. Didn't play much. I did a decent amount of RS this week. So in RS, I've been training my Obby Mauler still.
I guess you're not working on that Slayer anymore, right? You said a couple episodes back that you were working on strength.
Yeah. I got 55 Slayer. I actually don't know when.
Got it. Shit, look at that.
I guess it was this week if I haven't mentioned it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. So I got 55 Slayer and then did some PKing. And yeah, I'm back to training.
How'd the PKing go? How is the Obby Mauler holding up out in the wilderness?
So at my level, I'm what? I had 55 Slayer at 43 combat.
Nice.
Yeah, so at that level, when in Edgeville, all you find are other Obby Maulers and then low level granite Maul Pures. And it's really frustrating because you'll go and there'll be maybe 4 or 5 people your level, not including yourself, so maybe 6 total. And there'll be one other Obby Mauler, and then the rest are granite Maulers, and the G Maulers risk maybe 50k while they're Scald, and that's being pretty generous. Probably a lot less actually when I say that, probably 40k, I don't know. They risk nothing, and unscald I risk about 70k. And if I'm Scald, I'm risking 3.6 mil.
If you're Scald, you're risking 3.6 mil?
Yeah, so...
Alright, what's the loadout you're rocking out there?
So I bring my Obby Maul and a Berserker Ring.
Okay, yeah, that'll do.
I didn't always bring the Berserker Ring, but I'll explain why I started doing that. So pretty much, even if I had just recoils, because I bring both of them, I put the Berserker Ring on when I swap to Obby Maul. I don't bring a Fury just because no one will ever fight me when I wear a Fury.
Gotcha.
It's really, really annoying because I'm not Scalding. Unscald, I'm still risking a lot more than they are. And then Scald, I mean, I'd have to kill 1,000 of them plus without dying once to make the money back. I guess not including emblems, but anyways. So pretty much nobody ever wants to fight me except for other Obby Maulers. We just do unscald fights.
How does that work?
You hit someone, you get Scald, you teleport to Clan Wars, you lose your Skull, teleport back.
Oh, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's a pain, but whatever. Out of all the Obby Maulers I fought, I killed the first guy, and I got a tier 2 off of him, and then the second guy, I ended up dying, because I told him to stop saving, he kept eating at 40 HP, my max hit's 29, and he fucking killed me as I said, stop saving please, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm pissed. But yeah, it's super hard to fight people, because Granite Maulers never want to actually fight you, and Obby Maulers do, but I don't know, it's really annoying. Even finding risk fights, it's really hard to actually find other Obby Maulers willing to risk that also don't eat to full every time they can.
Yeah, okay.
You do 20 damage and there goes a shark instantly, okay, I'm never going to kill this guy. They're scared of losing 200k. I don't know. So as of right now, it's kind of not too fun. Honestly, it's not too fun to be PKing at such a low level.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like too much fun, to be honest.
No, it's honestly a lot of frustration because everyone brings antidote and anti-fire potions. Yep. Anti-fire's the G-Maulers because, crossbow spec. And antidotes because most Obby Maulers, you should. If you're an Obby Mauler, you should have Death of the Dorgashun quest completed. So you can use the Bone Dagger spec.
Right, okay.
And so you get a poison off on them pretty much with that, but so you pretty much never get to poison because everyone brings antidotes and everyone eats above your max hit. So you literally don't get a kill unless they just don't click their food and then you recoil it too and then you max hit them.
Yeah, that sounds kind of tough.
Yeah, so you go through 50 fights and nothing happens and you're like, hey, this is really boring. I started bringing a Berserker Ring because everyone just eats at 35 and shit. And it's that max hit might actually help. So whatever. Anyways though, so I started training again and I was doing sand crabs and so I average about 30k an hour.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, can't really complain. I'm limiting myself, right? So
Yeah, I guess so.
it's the way she goes. So I get about 30k an hour at. Well, I was getting 28k on the private island, just because people like always crash you, right? You like blink and someone's logged in and just starts attacking your shit. So I remember with Depths of Despair, they came out with a new sand crab spot, and like I completely forgot about it until like someone crashed me, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go somewhere else. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's that one quest.
That's one of those, the Zaya quests that they brought out, right?
Yep.
I didn't know they brought out new sand crabs with that.
Yeah, so I probably shouldn't be telling you guys this until like a month or two from now when I'm maxed out. I don't want anyone stealing my spots. But so you do Client of Kourend. This is a pro tip if you're wanting to go to sand crabs and you're like new. Do Client of Kourend, put the 20% favor into Hesidius, and then go do Depths of Despair because you need 20% Hesidius favor. And I didn't remember that Client of Kourend gave you 1k experience. So that would have been easy Slayer experience that I didn't use.
Shit.
Which sucks, but whatever. And then, yeah, so once you do Depths of Despair, you unlock a 3-spot crab area and a 4-spot. But the 3-spot, you only get hit by 2 crabs at once.
Okay.
So if you're pure and you like don't want to have to eat as much, you use that spot. Because you're able to like do,
Yeah.
longer trips, I guess, without having to bank. And then you use a skills necklace to the Woodcutting Guild.
Interesting.
Yeah, I get like about 2k more experience an hour. No one's ever there. Like I've seen maybe 3 people train, and they usually just like train there for an hour and then leave.
Yeah.
I've had no issues finding worlds. I never have to hop. I just walk in and like, oh, cool, world, and then I just train there.
Now, is it
It's
easy
like-
to reset your aggro with this new spot?
It's even easier.
Yeah?
Yeah, you just run to the ladder and then turn around. You don't have to go up the ladder. You just like run there and run back. Really straightforward. Yeah, I don't know. It's super nice. I'm surprised no one does it. It's like both quests took me like 10 minutes each with no teleports.
Yeah, well, it seems like there's so much into this game. When they introduce something that's not like super obvious, it just goes unnoticed for a really long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean there are still people training at the Frankenstein creatures.
Yeah,
What are they
yeah,
called?
yeah.
The strange creatures or whatever. And rock crabs, which is weird.
Yeah, you see that too a lot.
I mean, if you're able to go to Fossil Island, the anomalite crabs or whatever have the exact same stats as sand crab, but they have 100 HP, and their aggro range is like a lot further.
Yeah, but they do take up a little bit more squares, so maybe I don't know, you can't get 3 of them piled onto you. I don't know. Which is a good thing,
Yeah.
I suppose, if you're looking to avoid damage.
Yeah, so I'm at like 82 strength, I believe, right now.
Not bad.
So I'm getting there. It's really picking up though. I'm like 12 hours a level at this point.
That's a little... I guess
Brutal.
it's AFK, so it's not the worst.
Yeah, it's way more AFK than NMZ. But like with Depths of Despair, it's like 6 times cheaper than using the private islands. Because I get like 6 teleports of the necklace, and they don't break afterwards. I guess I could like try and recharge them, but on my main. But I get 6 teleports, and each necklace is 13k, and each trip to the private island is 10k. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's nice. On my main, I did a little PKing.
Oh, nice.
Deep
Anything
World
good?
PKing. No, nothing good. I lost a mystic set, gained a mystic set. Pretty much just ate food. That's pretty much it. Couple brews went missing out of my bank.
Cool. Any
Nothing spectacular.
Any wild stories you got?
No, just like basic fights. I wanted to go try some solo rev caves just for some fun, and it's really hard. You have to find people super far up north, and you gotta like barrage stack them. And you gotta like max your Gmaul and everything. Like it's because you need teleblock as well, and like I don't want to boost for fire surge because I'm only at 94 right now. I'm close to 95, but can't really be bothered to like go out and deliberately train it.
Gotcha. Is it as... I guess it's not as packed as it used to be. Like, I haven't heard anything since they nerfed it a bit, but does it still get a lot of action?
Yeah, you can still find people in each world. It's just not as packed as we remember.
Yeah, where every rev had like 3 people onto it.
Yeah, definitely nowhere near that bad. A lot of PKers still go there though.
Oh yeah?
Part of it is people just getting sick of getting PK'd, I guess. Because I keep bumping into teams and they're really bad. I actually lived every single time like I logged into a clan.
Yep.
Because I'd be logging up north and I'd see them and I'd either be able to run into singles and barrage someone and just peace out, or just like run down south and tally out with my seed pod. But yeah, nothing like spectacular. A lot of PKing is like deep worldy is pretty much nothing. Like you don't really do anything. You world hop a bunch, then you have to wait because you world hop too much.
Oh yeah, that would drive me mad.
Yeah, so then you're like, all right, I'll go from Revs to Callisto, and then you'll do that for a bit. And you're like, okay, I'll go from Callisto to Venenatis, and you do that for a bit, and so you just kind of like change the locations during your like timer, I guess, your cooldown on hopping worlds.
I found I just got really impatient when I do deep worldy PKing, because I don't want to walk everywhere, because it takes so fucking long sometimes. And you just want to like blast through your stamina potions, but you kind of need to keep them just in case.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I don't really mind walking, because you never know, right? You can run. It's not that big of a deal. Like a stamina potion on like 70 run energy or 50 run energy, like you can easily run from like Venenatis to the safe Wildy with like a full stamina potion.
Yeah. And like when you go deep wildy PK, you can totally understand why people get like trigger happy, where as soon as they see somebody, they're going to kill them no matter what.
Yeah.
At least that's how I get. I'll be walking around and I'm like not seeing any PKers, and then I'll see some guy who's like naked doing a clue scroll, and I'm like, I'm gonna feel really bad for doing this, but I gotta try. I haven't seen anybody in like 20 minutes. I gotta get some action going.
I just like to run at them, just follow them and turn on Smite. You'll be surprised the amount of people that like are walking and then they turn on run and they just keep running north. Like they don't hop or anything or log, they just like fuck off and they just like run deeper in the wilderness. Like, oh yeah, so okay, I did a little PKing. I did some Corp, some Corporeal Beast. I didn't get any uniques, but
nope. Oh,
it's fun. It's still enjoyable.
It's a fun boss, especially because it's like you're basically meant to do it in a group.
Yeah.
So and that makes it a good time.
Yep. So like there was Corp. I actually finished my Sire task. I don't know if I talked about that.
No, you're stuck on that one for like what? Half a year?
2 months?
2
Yeah,
months? Okay.
pretty much the whole year. I finished that, and then I got a couple tasks, but now I'm on Demonic Gorillas. I have like 30 left, I think.
Ooh, not bad.
I got a Zenite shard, which is nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, sold that for 11 mil. Well, I gave that immediately to my Pure, so I didn't really get to use it. I just put it on my Pure instantly. And then I did some raids, and I got a unique.
No way.
Yeah.
Or is it a biggin?
A Twi.
No.
A Twit. A Dragon Harpoon. No.
Oh, Dragon Harpoon. Okay, what's that going for these days?
I think I sold it for like 5 mil.
I guess it's not bad.
It's shitty, but it's the same drop table as throwing axes and the longsword, and the throwing axe is 200k, longsword's 400, so...
I think the problem with like raids, it's like, yeah, you get the 5 mil drop, which is it's a nice reward regardless, but when you're comparing it, like, I could have got a 70 mil or 100 mil or 1 billion GP drop, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's like you're getting between 20k to 400k an hour for like 30 hours on average.
Mm-hmm.
So you're making shit money per hour, and then you get rewarded with the 5 mil drop. That's like the big kick in the nuts. I don't really like want to think like that should have been a twisted bow. Because like I gotta get like 1.3k kills. I think I did the math on like the average points I've been getting.
Okay.
Minusing like teams like in my name, I should say. Twisted bow in my name is about 1.3k kills. So I'm not really too worried about that. It's just annoying. Like you dump 30 hours to get like a drop you could have gotten within 2 hours of Vorkath, like in terms of GP value. Yeah,
I guess that's the problem when you compare it to these bosses that are dropping non-stop resources.
Yeah, so I kept that money. That went towards my Ancestral Row bottoms. And at that time, I don't know how close I was, but I think I was like 10 mil or something off. And in hindsight, now that I'm saying this, I could have just taken the money off of my Pure and bought the row bottoms. But I was like, you know what? And like, fuck this. I'm going to go do some Vorkath because I did the math. I average about 4 mil an hour at Vorkath using the correct gear setup because I was using the wrong one for a while. So I average about 4 mil an hour at Vorkath, and I get about 3.3-ish mil an hour at raids.
Okay.
If I do a Vorkath trip, like I'm dedicating pretty much a minute of my, 2 minutes of my time per kill, but like a 10-minute trip because I get like 4 or 5 kills per trip.
Yeah, okay.
And then raids is like 40 minutes to an hour, right? So I kind of like, once I start a raid and after I've done scouting it, because sometimes scouting is like 20 minutes long.
True.
I have to dedicate like my whole hour of like doing a raid, where Vorkath I can sit down and do it for 10 minutes, finish, and then like stop.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the max rates from raids is like with like the appropriate amount of like, I think it's like 4 or 5 people in max gear with people scouting, and you have someone getting secondaries for you while you're ripping through raids, is about 6 mil an hour.
That sounds like a whole operation you have to have going.
Yeah, it's nuts. So if you're doing Vorkath, it's about 4 mil an hour until the skeletal visage, which is like, I believe a 1 in 5,000 drop chance.
Ay.
Is that boosts your money per hour to a bit over 6 mil per hour.
What are those things worth?
80 mil ish.
No.
Yep. The RS price guide right now is bugged. It says 29 mil, but if you look up the Dragonfire award.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, 86.9 mil.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so realistically, I should just spam Vorkath until I have all my gear. And so I started doing that. Funny enough, the wiki actually tells you the wrong gear setup in terms of like best gear to use. The wiki tells you wear like full armor and stuff. You're supposed to just do full void range.
Oh,
with like a Dragon Hunter crossbow and stuff. Just because like if you have rigor, because like rigor stacks with the void range. Anyways, so I did like a bunch of Vorkath and got my Ancestral Robe bottoms, which I think I bought for, I took a picture of it, 84.5 mil.
Aye.
Yeah, it's gone up like 5 mil since I last looked at them, which sucks. And the top has gone up 6 mil since I've last looked at them.
Why? What's making them go up?
It's just like Vorkath inflation. I think a lot of people are doing what I'm doing, where they realize that like raids isn't the best money anymore. Like it's killing a dragon that's super easy. You can turn off your brain. You can stop for, a minute and go to the bathroom like 30 minutes into it, you're not like locked into like being hyper efficient. I mean, obviously if you want to get like 4 mil an hour or something plus, you kind of have to be efficient. Yeah, and like Vorkath just like you get a lot of like straight up GP from them. And what some people have been doing is they get they'll do like a couple thousand kills, and then they will get a bunch of those Ava like accumulators, or they'll elk the Vorkath heads or something, and they'll turn that into gold too. You get a lot of dragon items which just go for elk price. Yeah, I don't know. It's bringing in like a lot of resources into the game and whatnot. Kind of overpowered, and it's probably gonna get nerfed when like Raids 2 comes out, because Raids 2 will have to be like 5 mil an hour per person for it to be like competitive.
So you're basically saying Vorkath is sitting at where Zulrah, like basically the same situation we had with Zulrah when it was first released, where it was like bringing in a shit ton of money and resources. A lot of people knew it had to be nerfed, but it didn't get touched until like 6 months.
It didn't get touched until they were like, "Hey, Dragon Slayer 2 is going to be coming out soon."
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. So it's like, yeah, it's the same thing, except Vorkath's a lot easier than Zulrah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might agree there.
So like the learning process of Vorkath is like 5 kills. It's like, oh, okay, he freezes me, click the ground so I don't attack him with my crossbow. Shoot my crumble undead, eat as soon as I shoot it. Oh, he's doing his machine gun barrage thing. All right, I will walk in a straight line.
Yeah, true.
And then purple fire, put your prayer back on, and then that's it. Like that's all the mechanic. Like Zulrah, to like be able to like go brain dead, like go grind it for a couple hours, probably like 90 kills to just know where to stand on what part of each rotation at a given moment.
And I feel like even still, you got a lot more to look out for. You get the poison gas. There's like 3 different cycles he could be going through.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
because like with Vorkath, I mean with Zulrah, like where he spits the poison, like there are specific spots you stand just to like keep efficiently damaging him. The only difference with like Vorkath, and like one reason why I don't think people are talking about it too much, is because not as many people are able to like do Vorkath compared to Zulrah. Zulrah, the recommended levels are like 75 range, 85 magic.
Yeah,
and and you just go smash some Zulrah. Vorkath, you know, like the questing is a lot more intense to get there, to get to Vorkath. And then also, if you want to get max rates, you kind of need Rigor, and like Rigor and Augury weren't like at Zulrah's peak, I guess. They were coming into the game soon.
Sort of, yeah. I feel like there's a big gap between Zulrah and
yeah, I mean there is some overlay. There is some overlap, I mean, of like when Raids 2 or Raids 1 rewards were out. But with like Vorkath, like getting into like that, like making max cash is a much, much bigger investment than Zulrah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the Hunter crossbow, and like you could get the Ward too if you're planning on doing like 8,000 kills or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, like you have to like put in like a lot of money, but it's still like disgustingly broken. That being said, I've been doing a lot of Vorkath, and I'll probably be spamming Vorkath until I get my robe tops. That might be the plan.
And how much did you say those were?
They go for like 106 mil now. They're probably going to be over 110 by the time I'm able to get them.
Shit.
At the rate that they're going up. So it's kind of like a race right now.
All right, well, that sounds like fun. Now, going back to the Chambers of Xeric versus Vorkath, what do you prefer to do? Like, what's more fun?
It kind of depends, because you can only do like 1 or 2 raids and then you just want to get off RS.
Yeah, okay.
Because like you're dedicating, like if you're doing a solo, it's like let's just average it out on an hour. But then sometimes you get really unlucky with your scouting. I've actually sat there and scouted for like 30 minutes straight, gotten nothing, and been like, this is ridiculous, and then I just log off, which is like, it's really unlucky. Usually it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just get extremely unlucky where you just get teched on over in Vespula, sorry, over and over and over again in your rooms, and you're like, okay. Sometimes you just say fuck it and take a shitty raid just because you don't want to wait.
Yeah, okay.
And I feel like Vorkath, you're kind of more, you're able to do 3 hours of Vorkath easier than raids, because like you put on like a podcast, hint, or
re-listen to old episodes.
Yeah, or like you just like find, you know, you like have someone to watch or listen to, and then you're just like clicking, you're banking, and like if you set up your bank efficiently, you know, it's like the downtime's pretty quick or pretty short. Like you're it's kind of like you just kind of go, and you're able to stop when you want, but you know, you want to finish this episode or this movie or this podcast or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not as stressful as in with raids. Sometimes you're like, well, for me, I'm really limited, right? I only bring 3 brews in because I just have so much gear that I bring in.
Gotcha.
That if I have like a lizard shaman, and this happened to me like during my last raid, I'm in a lizard shaman room, and for some reason when Netflix is on my other monitor and it's switching episodes or changing episodes, everything like lags on RuneScape for like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah,
and then boom, you get hit with acid and you get stomped on, and now you have to eat a brew or 2. And you're like, well, now I have to stop and resupply at some point. And that is just like, oh, for fuck, you know?
Yeah, that sucks.
That being said, I'd probably prefer to do Vorkath, but if I have a group of people on that are willing to do raids, obviously I'm going to choose raids.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
They're faster, and it's just more fun playing RuneScape with others.
Oh, yeah.
Probably done other things in RS, but it's not really relevant. But yeah, what about you? What'd you do this week?
It's been a pretty slow week for me, I'd say. Last week I was talking about a master clue that I had to work on, like another one I was working on, which was I had to do the Shades of Morden quest, and then I had to basically kill one of the shades in that mini game to do it. Anyways, the next step that I got from it is to fish anglerfish, which means I need 82 fishing, but it also says I need to be wearing the best fishing equipment, which I never looked it up, and I'm assuming it's anglers. So, yeah, that's my week right there. I've been just taking it slow, been fishing monkfish.
Wait, have you got the outfit yet?
No, I haven't got the full outfit yet. I'm missing 2 pieces still.
Go get the full outfit, because you get more experience.
It's very minimal, though. Like, so this is...
You're saving 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, no, I don't even think you'd be saving 20 minutes, but like, well, you might save... If I were to guess, this has to be like less than 10. But anyways, so I've been cracking away at it, because I agree it would be nicer to get a little bit more experience. But if I wait it out, and let's say I go get my angler's outfit when I have 81 fishing, then I'll be getting better rewards from a fishing trawler.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a tough one. So I kind of just jump back and forth. I have the hat and I have the boots. And yeah, I started at 72 fishing. I am currently at 77.
Not bad.
It's not bad. I'm slowly working my way there. I'm kind of excited to see how many monkfish I'm going to have by the end of this grind. See if it's fair money or anything like that. But we'll have to see. But I don't know. It's been kind of nice to just have a more AFK-oriented goal. Something where I can literally, like... I've been playing a lot of RuneScape since... I can't remember, but I started going hard at some point. Basically, I would just do Slayer for the most part. Unless I had another goal that would pop up. But I'm basically just doing Slayer, getting my combat stats up, trying to get a max combat level going. Every now and then a little mini goal will pop up and I'll be like, oh, let's get my farming up because I need to get it to 90-something eventually so I can get the spirit tree in my house. Well, I can get the spirit tree in my house right now because I have 83. But eventually I'm going to want to have it so that my fairy ring and my spirit tree are combined into the one thing.
Yep.
So I'll do that on the side every now and then. And like I mentioned last week, I do rune crafting just to kind of slowly pick away at that one because sooner or later I'm going to want 77 rune crafting because those noted Dagon
82
bones would be fucking sexy. Yeah, 82.
Because Lumbee Elites?
Yeah, I don't even know what those give. Actually, those give you you don't need the Dramen staff. The Dramen. I don't know how to pronounce anything in this game.
Let's call it the Dragon Staff.
The Dragon Staff. You don't need the Dragon Staff to use the fairy rings. You can just go barehanded, which is... That's pretty nice to have.
The ring also gives you more energy restore and allows you to high elk.
Yeah,
you get 50 free high elks a day, which is nice if you're going to burst at Necreals or Smoke or Dust Devils. And
yeah, that's pretty good.
Another block on your Slayer list.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a nice one as well.
Yeah.
So that would be good to have, although restoring my energy with the ring is... I purposely never do that because the amount of times I've misclicked and teleported kind of piss off. Especially my fucking... Yeah, anyways. It's a rough one. Yeah, it's just been nice to kind of take things slow a little bit. And yeah, I've been playing a fair bit of League of Legends on the side while I'm doing this fishing, but... I just need to take a break because sometimes you can kind of overwhelm yourself with too much RuneScape and then you might find yourself completely burnt out.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of, like I said, taking a slower approach to things so I keep the wheels going. I'll get this out of the way, but I'm itching to I need to get my range up because I want to start doing raids myself and it's...
What's it at right now?
I have 92 range right now, which it's not bad. I'm sure I could do it, but I would like to have a higher range level, closer to 99, if not 99.
Oh yeah, I guess on the topic of range, I'm like 60k from 99 range.
Oh shit, no way.
Yeah, so I'll get that, and like pretty much after we're done recording, I'll go back to Vorkath and get that.
Damn, that's not bad. What's the experience like at Vorkath?
I get around maybe 100k, maybe a bit more than 100k.
An hour?
Yeah.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you can get like 500k an hour at doing chins in Monkey Madness 2 area.
There's no way it's 500k.
Yeah.
It's got to be like 250 to 300.
No, it's like 500k. You can get like disgusting experience.
Now, is that total experience, including your health and defense, if you're doing it in the defensive stance?
No, it's just range.
That's fucked.
If you're being efficient and you're bursting or chinning at like there, you're supposed to go to a corner and step back in between auto attacks. You find like a corner and you hop between it, and like you'll attack, hop, and what that does is it causes, and you do this while you're bursting like Slayer tasks too. Mm-hmm. It causes them all to stack up, and so you're always hitting 9. That with rigor and like full range void and black chins, like. And obviously range potted up. Like, it's dumb. It's chinning there is the fastest defense experience in the game as well.
Yeah. I can see that.
It's absolutely dumb. But a big waste of money, and 99 range is kind of pointless to spend a couple mil doing because you're going to get it through PVM anyways.
Yeah, it seems that's what I've been doing. I've been just cracking away at it passively with the cannon and... whenever I get a Slayer task that requires me to range something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice to watch that go up. I did the same thing with Magic. I got 94 probably over a year ago. Since then, I haven't trained Magic, and I just get it through, you use Magic for everything. So I've gained one. So it's been a year. I've gained one level. I'm at 95, and I'm like 150k to 96. So I'm like 75% of the way there. It's going to take me a long ass time to get it, but it is kind of satisfying to watch it slowly go up just from teleporting or alking the odd, pieces of rune you get from Slayer, or if you have to kill something with that toxic trident. It's kind of cool to watch it very slowly go up. I want to say the same thing with Prayer and that Bone Crusher, but fuck, that thing is brutal.
What I haven't done it recently, but what I did for the longest time was Bone Crusher, and then whenever I got like Wyvern tasks and stuff like that, well, specifically Wyvern tasks, I would save the bones, and Dragon Bones if I was running low on them, but I would do my daily Port Phasmatis, exchange the bones for Bone Meal and Slime.
Yep.
You get like 26 free a day or something.
Yep.
And so I would just do that like during an herb run or something. I'd leave Port Phasmatis for my last spot, and then I would go bank everything, do the bones. Yeah, you chip away at it, like, not too bad, like, for pretty much free experience. Also use the tokens on your Bone Crusher, too, so you're getting 2 birds with 1 stone.
It's nice that you're getting this passive experience, but I'm just, like, the times I'll bust it out for a Slayer task, I'll go do the Slayer task, and like, boom, you got 1,000 experience for killing 150 of these monsters, and you're like, oh, that's a little depressing, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically been my week. I don't think we've ever talked about fishing trawler, so I'll quickly give the run through on how I do it. It's not going to be a full-fledged guide because I don't think anybody does it properly. But anyways, all you need to do is get some swamp paste. You get a bailing bucket from, I think a guy there sells it. You get some rope and some net just in case. I never had to use one. I don't even know how to use them, but I know you got to fix a net when you're doing it. But you basically take the Artie Knights method and spam click this one spot every now and again. There's like 20 of these holes that kind of pop open and water spews out. And if you just spam clicking, you'll just plug it back up. You have an activity bar that you got to keep charged up, or else you'll get kicked out of it, or you just don't get a reward. I don't remember if you get kicked out or not, but every now and then when people aren't auto-clicking their holes, it'll fill up with water. You just use your bailing bucket to bail some of it out. It's kind of simple because no one else seems to do it, so you get some free activity points. Every now and then, the net will break, and if it's broken when you kind of sail back to shore, you don't get your reward. When it breaks, I don't know what to do. I just hope somebody else does. I don't even know what net they're talking about, where this net is. I just hope somebody else does and they do it, which is not the best, but it hasn't failed me yet, so that works out. Yeah, there's your little guide. Oh, you got to spam click that one spot for 10 minutes. That's it. Oh man, that is a brutal minigame.
Like all things RuneScape related, we find the best methods by breaking it. And like if you have like a group of people agreeing on to do something, like 1 or 2 people like go and repair the sails or whatever and the nets, you just like climb up a ladder onto the top floor and you just repair it. Takes 2 seconds. And then everyone sits there and spams the bailing bucket.
Yep.
I think it's like what auto clickers just say to other people, so they can just like auto click or go Artie Knights on their ass and just so auto clicking pretty much. you just sit there and you spam click. It's pretty shitty. I mean, I'm 82 fishing and all I have is the angler boots. I was gonna go for the full set, but I'm like, fuck this.
Just wait till you get that master clue.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the 85 mining to go for.
Ooh, that's right. You got the same one that I had at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, this third age waiting for you in that thing.
You're going to get like a third age longsword and be like, I'm not that lucky. If you average out how many clues I could have done.
This guy's fucking hacking the game. Report him, boys.
Just cheating.
Got your little cheat engine out. That's basically fishing trawler. You have a 1 in 8 chance of getting an angler piece. You also get a reward of like fish, and it's depending on your fishing level. So there's 2 fish that only come from that minigame. Well, they don't only come from that minigame now, but they used to at one point. It's the only way to actually fish them, which is the sea turtles and the manta rays, which heal for 21 and 22 hit points.
Now you have to go to the resource area in the wilderness, right?
No, now you can just kill some shit and they'll give it to you.
Oh. Yeah. Vorkath drops manta rays.
So that's probably the better way of getting them now. But back in the day, the only way to get those pieces of food was by doing fishing trawler. Like a handful of other games, fishing trawler is stuck back in the ages. That game feels so outdated. It is barely a mini game. You're stuck on this boat for 10 minutes. If you miss the boat, you got to wait 10 minutes for it to come back. You don't even know when it's coming. You don't have a timer to say, "Hey, this is when it's going to be arriving."
I think it's similar. It uses the same system as pest control, where there's like waves, but also once it hits a certain capacity, it just sends you out. But because fishing trawler's so like, you use it to get the angler outfit, and that's it.
Yep.
Like and so people get it and leave. It'd be like a group rogues den mini game for the rogues outfit. Like people would just get the outfit and like no one goes back, and it also sucks. So people who need it don't even do it anyways. Because so it ends up where there's this awkward amount where there's almost enough people. So sometimes you just have to wait like the 2 minutes while you're waiting in the boat.
Yeah.
And you better hope to God that you catch that boat in time. Because if not, like, you have to wait 10 minutes. Or hope miraculously like 20 people log in at once saying, "Hey, let's go do fishing trawler." But that never happens.
Yeah, I don't think that would ever happen. So it's kind of brutal. Some other rewards you can get is like a rusty sword, a broken staff, unpolished buttons, which are not even rewards. They just junk that fills up your... It's just a little bit of... You're doing some ocean cleanup out there, picking up some of that litter. So you get some feel-good points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. There's a lot they could do with it to make it a cool and interesting minigame, but I don't think we'll ever see one. Yeah, there's my week right there.
Nice.
Pretty goddamn eventful.
Oh, yeah.
All right, which means it's time for us to move on to the news.
All right, so they released a dev blog earlier this week on the advanced warfare skill.
Oh, I heard about... Did they talk about this in RuneFest?
I think so.
Yeah, okay, this is a big one.
So it's advanced warfare. It's like a new skill, I guess, with a bunch of rewards. Anyway, so there's multiple ways of training it. One is espionage. So you go across the game, you find various spy masters, and they'll give you espionage contracts similar to Slayer. So you'll get experience rewards upon completion, and yeah, the reward is based on the level of the contract, obviously.
Cool.
So there's level 1, 18, 36, 54, 72, and 90.
And it looks a lot of them are going to require you to complete a quest to unlock that spy master. Is that what they're calling them? The spy masters?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so for like surveillance,
that's good.
You need recruitment drive done. For like Larry, you need Cold War.
Surveillance to Larry.
Yeah, they kind of ran out of names after that. So, okay, so there's some examples for espionage contracts would be like using your thieving skill to plant incriminating dossiers on Black Knight soldiers, setting up telescopes to spy on people, and infiltrating lizardmen camps, destroying food supplies, assassinating people. There's a handful. There's like 6 or 7 people you can assassinate. Some of them are locked behind quests, such as Desert Treasure, Monkey Madness 2, Regicide.
Solid. Cool.
Yeah. So assassinating would be like setting up a long-range bow in the Arty clock tower, or sabotaging enemy gnome copter so it's destroyed like mid-flight, nice. Poisoning a drink, using a concealed blade to assassinate a target.
And you could just grind that one out over and over again, right? You can just keep blowing up gnome copters and keep poisoning drinks.
Oh, I think you need to get the contracts to do it. You don't just sit there and destroy like a whole gnome airline company.
That would be devastating.
Business.
Yeah.
Deadman Mode hates this trick. Yeah, so some rewards are things like radars, where you use it to find people and things, of course. There's a level 5, 25, 45, and 65 radar.
This is going to be pretty damn good. It says this tool will allow you to increase the maximum distance of your minimap, letting you see enemies farther away. This would be perfect if you're, wood cutting maybe?
ZMI,
that'd be good.
No right-click follow, OP.
Oh,
back to the old OpenGL day 1 release.
Oh, wow.
Runecrafting was a 2-click AFK marathon.
Good times.
Yeah, and at level 85, you unlock a remote radar. So it has the same range of a supreme radar, but you can put it somewhere else.
Oh, so you get 2 mini-maps going.
Yeah.
Nice, that's pretty good.
Weapon attachments. So there are long barrels, there's a rapid fire attachment, there's FMJ and grip.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so long barrel will like increase the maximum range of your weapon. Rapid fire was attack speed. FMJ allows you to hit people through walls and through obstacles.
Damn.
Grip reduces the recoil of your weapon, making you more likely to hit your target.
Oh, that seems like it'd be really good. Like think about that on a longbow.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably gonna at least get a hit splat on them every time you click. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, put rapid fire on a blowpipe.
Shit. Now, can you put all 4 of these on something?
I don't know. I might have to unlock the perk.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so there's reverse pickpocketing, such as Bethesda games where you put shit in people's pockets. So you can put like hand grenades, poisonous hand grenades, venomous hand grenades, holy hand grenades.
Whoa, that's
A lot of grenades. That's pretty much it. They didn't have any other ideas.
So now, could this be used in a PvP scenario? Would it be like kind of like trading? Like maybe a trade menu would come up, and the only thing is the opponent has no option to decline or accept. It just automatically goes into their inventory.
This is for NPCs only, but it would be cool if you could just, it would be like trading, but you can't decline. Or not that you can't decline, is that you have to decline before they press accept. You have to be quick. You gotta get those auto hotkeys going.
That seems pretty good. Like maybe they're originally just gonna put the NPCs in to kind of ease it in, make it do better in the polls, and then they'll drop in the PvP parts unannounced.
Yeah. Load up your pack yak with them. Put them in someone's pack yak.
Dude, could you imagine? That's like a car bomb thing. I don't know. Is there a term for it's like a remote bomb? I don't even know.
Yeah, who knows? It's EOC. Something just kind of crept up and
came out of nowhere.
So, weapon strikes. So, these are things like mortar strikes, bombing runs, carpet bombs, and DC-130s. They do AoE damage. So, like the mortar strike would be a 5x5 for 20. And then DC-130 would be like a 25x25, 100 damage type thing.
Wow, that's pretty. Now, do you think if you're in the area, is there like friendly fire? Do you think you'll get hit for it? Like, most likely, but...
I'm not too sure, but it kind of changes the meta to Slayer.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Catacombs, especially, and maybe Dagonoth Kings.
That could be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
A little controversial on that one, but... I do like how the DC-130 hits in a 25x25 area up to 100 damage. Now, what I'm curious, if you could set this up in the wilderness somewhere, maybe fire it off a hill, catch some clue scrollers or something like that.
Find some clans fighting and you just sneak in and...
You could... Shit, that's...
You could, like, drop a radar at, like, Rev Caves and then just sit there and wait at the other side of Rev Caves.
Now, would you be able to do that? Because that's underground. You know what I mean? If you send off like a bombing run...
I think we've talked about this, but I think Gielinor is just underground in general.
Right.
As in rocks fall when you're fighting the grotesque guardians on top of a clock tower.
This is true.
There's rocks falling from the skies.
It would make sense.
I'm pretty sure Gielinor is underground. Explains the black skybox too.
Yeah, that does kind of make sense. It ties in with their lore a little bit. Well, if you can't hit people in a cave, you should be able to cause like cave-ins. So if you can't get the Rev Caves, maybe you can cause the Rev Caves to be kind of like wiped from the game for like a handful of hours.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe due to some buildings, cave in some banks.
Yeah, that, in like a PvP world, you can maybe take all the people out with it. And this allows them the space to introduce a new skill, maybe like a rescuing skill of some sorts.
Good money sink, though. It'd be a really good money sink because you couldn't pick up all the loot in time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so eventually, like, some of the loot will get, like, despawned. And if they do the new death mechanic...
that's also
big money
good.
sink.
Yeah, it's big.
Dual wielding. They're going to bring in dual wielding. So once you hit level 30, you'll be able to unlock the Akimbo perk. And once you have it, you'll be able to equip 2 one-hander weapons rather than just one. So throwing knives will be really fun to use.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it's like kind of an indirect nerf to the blowpipe. Because if you're throwing like 2 darts, and you poison them, so you're just like...
Yeah, that's a good point. That's we've been talking about it. It does need kind of a nerf. And it does kind of bring back, the DDS back into the meta a little bit. Now, I don't know if you'd get 2 spec bars for this.
Maybe you'd get one, but you'd be able to use both the specs at the same time.
Yeah, see, that seems pretty fair.
It brings it indirect nerf to like the Granite Mole and the Dragon Claws.
And that's exactly what we've all been asking for a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it seems like they're finally answering some of our questions, which is pretty nice. Anyways, we're moving on to the Australianizers. It's a device unlocked at level 40 Advanced Warfare. You use it on another player, and it flips their interface upside down. So it makes PvP a little bit more interesting, because PvP is like extremely like easy. It's really boring. Like tri-birding just isn't fun. Like no one ever dies, because it's like you can't die in a tri-bird fight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way too easy. Well, at least I've never died, so.
I don't, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever died either. And I don't think I've ever killed somebody either.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find a fight in the wilderness, but when you do, it lasts like 30 minutes. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, so a new range skill, the range skill needs something a little extra. And so they want to add some more niche weapons. So they're going to add the RPG, the rocket-propelled geese.
Ooh, nice. We deal with those out here in Canada.
Yeah. Pretty big fine if you kill them, though. Yeah, so you can go find these Ammo Nation stores across the game, and you can get these geese and whatnot.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, you need 62 Advanced Warfare and 60 range, and yeah, you just annoy people with them. They don't really do much. Chase you around, nip at your heels. Shit in every park. Like, Falador Park will be completely ruined because they're just geese shit everywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. And the thing is, like, you send them on, like, the road, and suddenly everyone has to stop and wait for them to cross. You know what I mean? And they take forever.
But next thing you know, they're challenging cars.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're trying to fight cars and stuff.
Yeah, flapping their wings because their personal space is, like, a 50-meter diameter or radius.
Yeah, something a little more on the serious note, though. So they're coming out with a thing called De-Ironer. Some people like to play as an Iron Man, which lets you're unable to trade with other people, and you pretty much have to, you stand alone. Yeah, so this is a gold sync, but it's level 70 Advanced Warfare. You're able to de-iron accounts with an item.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know the community's been asking for something like this. And this really brings life to the kind of the Iron Men PvP clans. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the losing clan, suddenly you can't even fight in the PvP Iron Men brackets anymore.
Yeah, and if it actually makes a hardcore Iron Man hardcore, so instead of like AFKing woodcutting to 99 and bragging about how good your hardcore Iron Man is, like you kind of now have to avoid people from de-ironing yourself.
Yeah,
or getting de-ironed. So there is more risk. And also, you're out in the wilderness. People aren't going to waste an inventory slot on this. So it's actually going to be safer to be doing like dangerous content.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I see at the end here they also tackle it in that they not only lose it, but you're going to be able to gain it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you lose it forever. You just have to de-iron somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, let's be real. I'm going to de-iron someone and then just de-iron myself. Just going to go run to what's-his-face and just de-iron myself.
Yeah, and I think the big problem, though, is people creating level 3 accounts and then stealing their Iron Man status.
Yeah. I do. The only thing I'm kind of upset with is you can't stack Iron Man status.
I was going to ask, you should be able to get, like, let's say you do it to enough people and you'll have, like, 5 Iron Man heads next to your account or something.
Yeah, maybe, like, eventually turn to a gold Iron Man.
Oh, that's good.
Every time you log in, it just tells everyone that you're an Iron Man.
Oh, maybe it says it in the chat box being like, so-and-so has logged in.
Or like a PM, so when you think you got a message from your longtime friend who hasn't logged in since you play when you were a kid, it's actually just a notification that someone logged in as an Iron Man. But yeah, anyways, there's still a little bit more to go through. So, the gnome gunships. So, ever find yourself set up upon a clan in the wilderness with no way out? Well, the gnome copter gunship might help. At level 78 and above, you'll be able to call in a gnome copter gunship to level the playing field. They'll have dual mini bows, which can fire 3,000 iron arrows per minute item sync.
Nice.
They'll remain in the area for 1 minute before they are summoned, and whilst they're in the area, they will target any players or NPCs which attempt to fight you, eliminating all without prejudice.
And these are pretty balanced because we talked earlier in this dev blog, there is a skill that allows you to eliminate these copters, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's not enough gnome copters for people to be using it, and like you have to wait for the last gnome copter that was summoned in like World 22 that he has to finish up his run, then he comes to you, right? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Olm will be a pretty interesting fight. And like other bosses will be pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll just have to see if it's actually worth it to be using this against them. And then tactical nukes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So reaching level 99 it's a pretty big achievement. So much that you get a massive firework to show off how much time you've wasted.
That's good. I like how they have the fireworks and stuff. It really feels like you've kind of beat the game, well, at least a little bit of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So once you unlock tactical nuke, you'll use it. There's a countdown timer of 30 seconds for everyone on the world, and once it reaches 0, every world will be obliterated. An irreversible fiery explosion of doom. This permanently closes the world and shuts down Oldschool.
See, that seems very. I mean, I'm not saying when you reach level 99 that you should have a really strong thing, but it just seems like they're gonna have to start balancing bosses around this in the future.
Yeah,
like we've talked about this with the Dragon Warhammer. But I'm sure they've ironed it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think it's pretty good because once the game closes, you'll be able to go out and do other things.
Yeah, which is kind of nice.
Like listen to another episode of our podcast.
Yeah, and then we could be the Wilderness Podcast, but we talk about just like stuff going on in Earth. You know what I mean? Maybe we go out into the forest for an episode, and
yeah, maybe I'll start playing Wizards 101, the #1 most family friendly MMO.
Wizards 101.
Yeah, it's rated #1 most family friendly MMO. I suggest you check it out.
Should I Google it right now?
Yeah, it's like a super shitty MMO.
Oh, okay.
It's for like little kids.
Oh.
Anyway, so that is Jagex's amazing April Fool's joke.
Yeah, it was yeah. That was pretty good. I enjoyed reading it when it first came out. It was pretty fun to kind of read through it. If you're a little confused right now, we recorded last week before this was actually released, so we didn't tackle it onto the episode. That's why we're talking about it right now on our post-April Fool's episode. But yeah, Jagex always comes up with some pretty good doozies on the April 1st.
I was a bigger fan of everyone getting level 2 defense, and then Pure's going, oh shit, and then actually getting level 2 defense. Because they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go initiates or something.
That's right. I remember that. That was
so many people bitching about their accounts being ruined. Like, Jagex, you ruined my account. Refund my experience. Like, really? You got level 2 defense and didn't check to see what? Why?
Yeah.
You didn't check your attack style or anything?
Oh, I guess my account's just ruined. Oh, may as well become a Zerker now.
May as well not quest my defense up. I'll just start training it.
Yeah, fuck it. So let's quickly go through their past April Fools, because they always do something with it, and they're usually pretty good. Sometimes they're actually in-game, as you just mentioned. Last year it was anyone with level 1 defense had level 2, regardless of what they were doing. They just received a fake message that was stating, oh, you just leveled up, as a joke, even if you were mining.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. But on top of that, players who were completing treasure trails, they would receive a message stating they found the Helm of Raidwald, which is a helmet that a ton of people were looking for during the Crack the Clue event. And we talked about it before, but it took them a long time to find that helmet, and it happened eventually through a guy doing it through brute force, where you just go around and dig in every spot, you know what I mean, of some area until he found it. So that was 2017. And then in 2016, they had the EOC update, which was the evolution of cabbage.
Yep.
You got a new skill called cabbage picking, or I think it was just cabbage. And you're able to grow levels from picking cabbage, and you can get all the way up to level 120. They rewarded you with the cabbage cape from that one. So and you can still get it. So if you see that one rocking around, that was from the 2016 April Fools. And then in 2015, they released a guy named Little Mo. You had to deliver some packages, and you had to talk to him, do like a very small quest, and he rewarded you with a pair of dragon claws, which could perform the dragon claws spec emote. They weren't actual weapons you could use. They were just an item, like a fun item, which is kind of ironic because Dragon Claws came out afterwards.
Yeah.
2014 was the release of the sailing skill, which was a legit skill RuneScape wanted to bring out way back. It came I think it just barely failed the polls, or maybe it failed by like 10%. So it never got released, and eventually nobody cared enough to bring it back, I suppose. But for this April Fools, you were able to actually use the sailing emote, and you could sail to this one island. It was like an island of this like Zaros looking creature dude. That was basically all you could do there. And then in 2013, so basically 2 months after the game came out, so I think at this point, there was no rare items. When I say rare items, I mean like party hats, the Halloween masks, the Santa Claus hats, all those old-time discontinued items that are now in RuneScape 3, and they're worth like billions. Each item is worth so much fucking money. So at this point, they weren't actually released into the game. So in April Fools, they had a bunch of party hats and Easter eggs and all these things kind of spawn in different locations, but they weren't actual items you could pick up. When you got close to picking them up, they would kind of move around, and you were never able to pick them up. But if you did use Telegrab on it, you would receive cabbage and skirts instead. So they always do something fun for April Fools. Although this one, I don't think they did anything in-game. They just brought out this dev blog instead, but it's a little fun thing to read through.
Yeah, I mean, some people were kind of upset that there wasn't like an in-game update, I guess, or little goof, but I don't know. I don't really care too much.
Yeah, I don't really care either, but it is kind of weird that there wasn't, seeing as there have been one every single year, and this is like arguably the strongest the old school RuneScape game has been since it's been released.
I mean, I guess their like in-game thing mainly was the Easter egg reward, the Easter armor, like the Easter egg armor.
Yeah, that's true. That's a pretty good April Fools.
Pretty much goofed on us pretty hard with that monstrosity.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you want to move on to the actual update?
Yeah, let's move on to what we've actually had brought into the game.
Yeah, so there's now a free-to-play PvP world.
Cool.
So World 17 has been brought online as a PvP world for free-to-play users. Exact same thing as PvP, PJ timer, and all that stuff. 15 levels of combat bracket. So yeah, you can be ragging some kids and free-to-play if you want.
That's pretty cool. It might be some. Have you tried it out? I know you're doing some free-to-play PKing last week.
I popped on for a little bit, and there was no one my level that I could see at the Grand Exchange at least, or at Edgeville. I don't know if there's another spot where they're all hiding, but yeah. I did see like a lot of people that were like 40 attack, 40 strength, type like the minimum range 2H pures that could use Rune, and then they would just try and find guys that were lower levels than them and try and combo them out. But yeah.
It should be pretty fun. I hope we see another poll or at least some sort of proposal for teleblock. It seems like I don't know how this could work without a teleblock. You know what I mean? It's so easy to just teleport away at this point.
Exactly. They're probably gonna just do this and hope maybe teleblock will pass. Now there's more use to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's now the world rotations for PvP and PKing and all that jazz. So
nice.
We talked about this before, but yeah, every 2 weeks there will be a rotation. So period A is on the east of the Atlantic, host Bounty Hunter World is World 18 the UK, and then the highest PvP is World 43 Germany. On the west of the Atlantic, the host standard PvP world like World 24 is USA, and the free to play PvP world is USA. And then period B would be on the east of the Atlantic would be the standard PvP world, World 25 UK, and then they don't have a confirmation for the free to play. They don't know which world that will be, but it'll be something. Or which zone it will be, I guess. And then the Bounty Hunter world would be World 19 USA. And High Risk PvP World 37 would be US.
Originally, I kind of thought it would be like always the same worlds, and somehow they would just change the servers.
Yeah, no, they straight up just like changed the numbered world.
Yeah.
Instead of like where the server is, which is kind of stupid, but I guess it's cheaper for them. So, funny enough, have you heard any complaining? Because I checked on the subreddit like the day of the update, and I jumped to some PKing streams, and a lot of people were just bitching.
Yeah?
Like, a lot of people in the UK and stuff were complaining that, like, well, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna just use my bond for when, like, I can go Bounty Hunter, PvP, whatever their preference is, in the UK, and then just not. Wait for my bond to go out, and then now I'm not PKing, because it's not in my server.
I've heard a lot of people saying that, or like, you know what I mean? Like, depending if it's in their, their country server.
Yeah.
That they're going to wait it out and not PK for that week, which, to be honest, I've been PKing and I never really noticed. Maybe it's just because I haven't played on a better world, but I haven't really noticed any issues where I was like lagging or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like, I could tell, like being in the UK worlds and stuff like that, and Germany worlds. I mean, I don't actually PK in like high risk or anything like that, but I'll go in bounty hunter and whatnot. And I can feel a bit of a difference, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's just people being kind of unreasonable, where it's like, well, I'm not going to waste any bond time. They'll just use that 2-week period for their bond, and then, now we're good. I feel like this won't last, though, because people, like, the only thing that, like, they're going to wait for is, like, okay, now let's split up, like, bounty hunter, PvP, and high risk into 3 zones. Like, one for Australia, one for the US, like, maybe not even Australia, but, like, for like US or EU East and West, and then one for like NA. Like that's like what people seem to want, and then they're gonna complain that like there's not enough PKing. Like I don't know. It seems a little bit unreasonable that you have to kind of give and get, like give and take, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, like, okay, if you don't want to PK that week, then or use one of the other worlds, fine. Hopefully this doesn't split the PKing community. You know what I mean? Like hopefully. Doesn't fracture it, because everyone's always talking about how it needs to be something needs to breathe more life into it. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see though.
Yeah, in my experience, I feel like bounty hunting PKing it just isn't that fun.
Oh, you're gonna wrestle some jimmies with that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to like make a granite mauler and just not skull on people and be like, no, you were 200k. I'm not sculling. I swear I have a dark bow.
I brought cash with me.
I won't go into it, but there's some people that are fucking stupid as hell, and they have tier 10s when I can see they have no emblem, trying to trick me into sculling on them. It's like, goddamn, people are dumb. Anyways, yeah, so there's going to be a little rotation. They said if it doesn't work, they will stop doing it. So, yeah. The looting bag changes have been implemented, so if you destroy it, your shit will just drop.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. They did look into like other ways, such as you can't even destroy the bag in combat. You can only do it afterwards, but yeah, they just didn't. In other news, though, when they added the PJ timer from the PvP world to the Wilderness Bounty Hunter world as a request in a recent poll, they overrode the special expectations that had been made to single-way combat. Yeah, so on that world, it would let players steal their bounty hunter targets from other combat or from combat against other parties, and they've fixed it. So you're able to like PJ pretty much if it was your target at any point.
Yeah,
I believe was the issue. The stone buttons at the bottom right corner of the fixed size game frame were misaligned, so they kind of fixed that. The volcanic mine now is a chat channel on the grouping side panel to help you find other miners to group up with.
Perfect.
Yeah. They did some typo fixing. The lure cave in the Barbarian Assault no longer has an option to click, so you like have to examine, I guess, if you want the information. Yeah, I don't know, weird. Yeah, they kind of just fixed some graphics and some typos and forthcoming changes. So they've got some engine changes in preparation of the iOS mobile beta, and that'll be due next week. So based on the learnings from the last round of beta, which we talked about, and you can always go check out on the website. But yeah, they'd like to improve the handling of the bank and shops, among other things. And yeah, watch out for the invitations.
Cool.
Yeah. So they are not seeking more volunteers to test this beta. So it'll still be 2,000, just like the last one.
Yep.
Yeah, some worlds will go offline for a couple hours during this beta. They're going to have to.
Okay.
Yeah, be prepared for your world to drop, and then you lose that epic loot.
Oh, it's all the PvP worlds.
Yep. And they had stuff in the merch store. It is probably gone by now, though. They re-upped the merch, but that shit sells out in like an hour.
Yeah, it's those keychains that I think we talked about it before. Made by a person named Angelscape. They create their own pins and key rings, and they're pretty nice, although they don't compare to our good old
in-house blacksmith.
Yeah, our in-house blacksmith, which a little teaser for later on in this episode.
Yeah, which sucks if you aren't ever in our Discord or CC. So that's it for the news. Now I guess we have to talk about things in the community. Is that what we do now?
That's what we've been doing for a little bit at least. You got anything for us this week?
Well, the main thing in the community was the shit fest that was the Justiciar, whatever you want to call it, that armor.
Yep.
So they had showed off the armor.
Yep.
And it is legit just Arma from RS3, I'm pretty sure.
Basically, I think it looked pretty bad. It was kind of it looked pretty stupid. Like your character model just kind of looked silly.
Yeah. Their main thing is that they wanted the armor because it's gonna be Saradomin themed. You kind of talked about. I mean, it's in the Mire Ditch, and it's kind of related to the lore when you talked about that stuff.
Right.
Pop quiz. It like doesn't look. I mean, okay. Before we go into this, they're gonna be changing how the model is. They're gonna be changing what it looks like. They kind of just put it out on day one for feedback, and then everyone started hurling rocks at them, being like, "This is disgusting." And then like, "Okay, we'll change it," and people are still hurling rocks to this day.
Yep.
Couple days later. Anyways, but yeah, so the concept armor, like the armor they're gonna go with, didn't look like Saradomin at all. I mean, I guess they're gonna try and go with the look of the Saradomin guy from Mage Arena 2.
Yeah, he had like these, like the Nietz helmet has these weird wings kind of at the top. It looked like that, but the wings were more exaggerated.
Yeah, he kind of looked like a weird bird person type thing.
Yeah, it looked like an armadillo thing. And I know with the Saradomin and Armadillo, they're kind of on the same side of the spectrum when it comes to like the alignments of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
But still.
So someone had said, one of the J mods, I don't know who it was, said like that the armor they proposed way back when that we've talked about that looks super cool, and everyone was saying, "Hey, just show it." They're saying that it didn't look like Saradomin armor at all.
Yeah, that's true. It had like this Bloodborne kind of feel. If you ever played that game for the PlayStation 4, it had this like eerie, it was like a dark red and black armor.
Yeah.
It looked fucking sick. It looked perfect for like a Theater of Blood themed gear set, but not for Saradomin armor coming from Theater of Blood.
Yeah, it looked super nice. People like posted some recolors, which are actually like more bluish to make it look more Saradomin, which I thought was pretty cool. But I honestly think that they maybe should just go like completely just redo an idea, like redo it, like make it less armadillo, make it look tanky. Like it looks so wimpy. It looks like leather armor.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the tankiest armor in the game. So like, do it. You know, make it look fitting.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it in general. Have you seen some of the other armors that have been that have been
proposed?
Proposed, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, there was a couple of them. I noticed like a lot of people that were doing like the concept arts in the subreddit were like really similar to like Dark Souls.
I haven't played Dark Souls, but I don't think that's a totally bad thing because they've got some cool armor, no?
Yeah, and it's like medieval-esque too, right?
Yeah.
Someone like posted together a like collage of all the armors, and they're like, I had some that I liked more than the others, but
yeah, there is a picture I saw of someone's proposal of the Justiciar armor on the subreddit. It was proposed by, looks like 2 different people. So it looked like it was part of a user on Reddit named Harem_Sage, which he basically took a picture that was made by Ming on the subreddit and then made it the RuneScape model. And then another user named Pyromantico edited it a little bit more to make it kind of mesh better. And the reason I'm talking about this, I'll post this picture up on the Discord after the show. You guys can see what it looks like, but it looks pretty good. I would be happy to see this type of armor. Yeah, anyways, a lot of cool designs that have been kind of popping up. Hopefully they go with something better.
So hopefully, so they will be showing, like next week Q&A, I think it is. They'll be showing their new redesign of the armor.
Cool.
Hopefully it looks good. Okay, so I don't know if I talked about my theory on why they're not just gonna try and do something with the armors they proposed.
Oh, did you say theory?
Yeah.
All right, what's your theory?
It was stolen from someone's DeviantArt.
Oh, do you think so?
Maybe. I have no idea. I'm just throwing things at the wall and seeing if anything sticks. I'm not really I don't want to actually accuse them of stealing someone's DeviantArt. But like, it is weird that they're not going with like, this shit kind of looks like vampire-esque Slayer armor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe it's their way of like, we want a new tier. We want tier 80 armors in the game, so this is more content after raids too.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It was pretty cool. It's hard to say. They have talked about bringing in that sort of gear. But but they just said it would release with different content, which kind of makes me think that they might bring out this new set of gear, the 3 that we've talked about before, that they might bring it in for like almost like a clue scroll reward or something on those lines. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be legit gear that you could wear and fight shit with. I don't know. I would be super disappointed to see that though.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone else also posted about that gear and toning it a bluish color to make it look Ceradomin-like. Looks good. We'll post that up on Discord as well. And when I find the post of it, I will let you know who did it.
Next, on a more positive note, there's finally a hardcore Iron Man that has an Ellie.
Oh, is this the first guy?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Congrats. Wow, a lot of Iron Men getting their Elysian shields, it seems like, this month. Or maybe
But the first
month.
hardcore Iron Man to achieve it. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. It looks like not English. But yeah, he got on kill count 652, so grats to him.
Cool.
Pretty nice.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. I don't even think he's max HP or anything like that. I don't even think he's max combat.
He's probably level 50. As soon as he can get into that cave, he did.
Yeah. I believe that's everything that happened in the community that I can think of.
Oh, not too bad. I saw a few things. So it seemed like there is a bug that I don't know if it happens every time or sometimes, but with the new introduction to the Corp world, the Corp cave for Iron Men, that let's say you're a normal account doing it with some friends and you're doing the normal Corp, and then an Iron Man goes into the Iron Man cave, there is either a chance, or it'll happen every time, but when the Dark Core spawns for the Iron Man, an extra Dark Core will also spawn for you. So there is a video of a team of people having to dodge what looks like 3 different energy cores jumping around.
Yeah, this bug has happened in the past.
Oh yeah? Oh, okay.
In like RS3. I don't know exactly what causes it, but I'm assuming it has something to do with the whole Iron Man debacle, like getting their own rooms. I haven't experienced it myself though. It probably has been hotfixed by the time you guys hear this.
Oh yeah, most likely. I've only seen one post kind of go on about it, so it's either been fixed or it's super rare that it happens. Yeah, that's one little bug that seemed to have sprouted up. That's basically it. I saw an interesting suggestion, so I figured I'd pitch it, see what your thoughts are of it. So this was proposed by the Reddit user Alienware99.
Product placement TM.
Oh. So this one's called The Sword and the Stone. So there's going to be a giant boulder with a sword sticking into it, located just outside of the Grand Exchange. It'll cost you 10,000 GP to pull it, or per pull. And there'd be a chance of one sword getting pulled out of the stone throughout every single world, every single day. The winner receives 20% of all of the money, as well as unique cosmetic sword. The remaining 80% of the money is removed from the game. This will be available for both members and non-members. Iron Man will receive the cosmetic sword only, but no money.
Now, you only get one attempt?
It says here you would get multiple attempts. Oh, it says 10k per pull. So I'm assuming with the proposal, you'd get multiple pulls.
What's a staking addiction? I don't know what that is, but I'm going to start pulling a sword out of a stone.
Something along those lines. Now, the thing is, you would win some money.
I think a lot of it, it takes a lot of money out of the game, but it just gives it all to a rich person. I do Vorkath for an hour, and I can sit there like all day and go for this stone pull, and if I win it, like 10k per pull, like isn't really that much.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd probably like make so much money from this.
Possibly. Now you only win 20% of the money.
Yeah, but how many new will go and try it once, and then how many people are going to sit there and spam it? Like, you'd probably get a couple mil easy.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think it's a little weird, to be honest.
I thought it was an interesting idea for a gold sink. The problem that a lot of people seem to have was that it was a lottery-like system, even though we have the dual arena, which is basically that. Figured I'd pitch it because it'd be kind of cool. I've even seen people talk about make it so you lose, like it's 100% of the money gets thrown away, but the sword, it becomes tradable, which would make it super valuable since only one of them could be pulled a day. So it would take a year and there'd only be 360 of them in the game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Another interesting idea. And that's everything I have here for our, I guess, within the community news. So yeah, a little bit of a slower week, it seems like. I've also been super busy with work. It's sometimes I might miss some of the goings on within the community, but I try to stay in the know and I try to pay attention, but I guess the odd thing might slip by. If anyone out there listening sees something that is an interesting little event or an interesting, I don't know, something interesting that was posted or talked about, you can always let us know as well, and we can talk about that just in case we miss it. I haven't watched any of the live streams for the past handful of weeks just because, like I said, I've been busy at work, and you can really only watch it on Twitch, and it kind of sucks to have to live stream it while I'm working. Sometimes I don't have the best service, so I can't even fucking watch it fluently without lagging, having to buffer every 10 seconds. Yeah, that's all this week. So we'll move it on to the lore. This week for lore, we are talking about the second age of the history of RuneScape. As you know, last week we talked about the first age. So if the first age is starting at year 0, it ended in year 4000. The second age is often referred to as the Golden Age of Zaros. So we know the first age ended when Guthix went into hibernation. During the second age, he continues to stay in hibernation. But this is the period when we see the arrival of the race Majorit. They were brought to Gielinor by the desert gods Ixthlaren and Amaskut. So the desert gods aren't something we've actually really touched on yet, and it's something we're going to save for a later episode. So I'll just quickly give a brief description of them. Amaskut and Ixthlaren are the daughter and son of Eladinus and Tumakin. According to the Menophites, which are the group of people who predominantly worship these desert gods, Tumakin is known as the Lord of Light and the God of the Sun. And Eladinus is the goddess of fertility and growth. And a little side note, the river that runs through the desert area on Gielinor is called River Elid, which is named after this goddess. The daughter of the two, Amaskut, is referred to as the Devourer, or the God of Destruction. And last of the four mentioned, we have Ixthlaren, which is a god that we have kind of touched upon last week, but he is known as the demigod of death. So at this point of time, the Zarosian Empire begins to expand greatly. So the desert gods bring the Majorit to help protect and fight against the Zarosian Empire. So during this time, we see Zaros having basically full control of many different areas, covering Misthalin, which is Varrock, Lumbridge, Draenor Village, and the lost city, Senetzin. Also, part of the empire is the Kingdom of Asgarnia, which consists of Birthrope, Taverley, Falador, Port Sarum, and the Dwarven Mines, right next to Barbarian Village. And Remington, can't forget that one. We also see him having control of the northern parts of Mauritania and the lost region of 4 and 3, which we now know as the Wilderness, but at the time it was not a wasteland that we know it today. Little is known about the actual battle against Zaros, but we do know at some point the Majorit betray Ixthlaren and the other desert gods and pledge their allegiance to Zaros, continuing to fight but for the other side against the Menophites. The Menophite people begin to start losing the war and suffering devastating losses to their side. Tumakin, the Lord of Light or the God of the Sun, sacrifices himself to protect the Menophites, ending the war and obliterating most of the Majorit, which hit them so hard the race was never able to recover from it. And because of this, Tumakin, in his weakened state, goes into hibernation, and doing so he creates 4 more demigods. Het, the god of health, Epmekin, the goddess of social pleasures, Krondis, the goddess of modesty and resourcefulness, and Scaberas, the god of isolation and tranquility. After the war, Zaros went back to expanding his empire, which began to prosper and grow at heavy rates. And at this point, Senetzin becomes the largest and most prosperous city in all of Gielinor. Senetzin now sits in the place that we know as the dig site, which covers the ruins of the once great city. Once the war was settled down, a Majorit general begins amassing his own private army and starts plotting against the god Zaros. This general we all know as Zamorak. At this time, though, he is not a god and he is still immortal. As Zamorak begins to plot against Zaros' downfall, he meets some important Saradomist followers, which hold the Staff of Armadil. Dalek, one of the Saradomin followers, gains possession of this staff. His orders were to pass it to the god Saradomin himself, but instead he decides to enchant the staff so that Zaros is unable to detect it. He then gives it to Zamrock as to begin the rebellion against Zaros, destroying Saradomin's greatest enemy. Once Zamrock obtains the staff, he is able to carry out the assassination of Zaros, which causes him to obtain godhood. And with the fall of Zaros comes the end of this age. Those are the main events that shape this era of RuneScape, but there are some interesting other side notes to add. During this time, the first Saradominist kingdom is created in eastern Mauritania, which was then known as Hollowvale. And also, many believe the duel arena was built during this age. The second age lasted roughly 2,000 years, which marks the starting of that age at the year 4,000 and ending in the year 6,000. So that's the end of the lore for the second age. And next week, following in line, we'll be talking about the third age. All right, so now moving on to kind of, I guess, what's going on with within our little community. I guess that's what this segment's going to be started calling. But anyways, we've been talking about our blacksmith Bhooley. He's been prepping for a giveaway where he made a Dwarf Cannon miniature. The thing looked awesome. It was going to work through like a raffle system. So you paid 200K, you got yourself a little ticket to go into this raffle. And anyways, last Friday, he drew the names from a hat to see who the winner was. I decided to throw in 10 mil as well, split the 10 mil between 3 people. Yeah, unfortunately, we've all had such busy schedules. We couldn't do anything in-game for it. It was just kind of all done within Discord. Yeah, that being said, congratulations to Lv100 Raichu for winning the Dwarf Cannon. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy that. And for the 10 mil giveaway, Illumini is the winner of the 5 mil. Annie is Mad is the winner of 3 mil. And Vapewave, the winner of the 2 mil. So congratulations to everyone. I hope everyone had fun. And I want to say again, thank you to Blacksmith Bhooley. I guess that's the nickname we're gonna start going with. But thank you for doing that little event. It's pretty cool. It's a unique thing to bring and kind of spices things up a little bit. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I should have tackled this on at the beginning, but so Blacksmith Bhooley was also giving away a dragon Battleaxe that he made as well. This thing, he was just kind of like a little bonus thing he decided to throw on at the end there. I wasn't even sure if it was going to be ready for it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So congratulations to Cmite. Another badass prize out there. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, those things are always pretty fun. I guess keep your eyes out for more events in the future. Not saying there's going to be more like actual real-life old-school RuneScape items. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
But yeah, keep your eye out for maybe like in-game drop parties and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I have a lot of fun with these type of things. So hopefully we can do some more in the future. Yeah, that's about it. Got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I think that's everything. Might be missing or forgetting some stuff, but I don't think so.
Cool. All right, guys. So if you want to keep in contact with the show or hang out with us in-game or on our Discord, our in-game clan chat is WildCC. Our Twitter is @TheWildernessRS. Facebook is facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. Our email address is TheWildernessPodcast@gmail.com, all one word. And yeah, the Discord is posted on Twitter and Facebook. Shit, I'm getting a little loopy at the end of the tail end of this episode, so this is a struggle. You got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Twitch and Twitter is Deagin&Dilz as always.
Nice and simple. And remember, if there's anything you guys want to let us know, you want to, I don't know, tell us a story, ask us a question, whatever the hell it is, you could send it to any of those things. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can leave a little comment in there, and we will definitely read it on the show. With all that being said, I think we've exhausted all of our resources this episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And next week, we're on episode 80. Shit. Episode 80.
Damn.
Cool.
Base 80s. All right.
Take care, guys. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, have a good one.